Previously on Strange World.
For 6 years, I took care of you as well as I could, and I never asked you to let me in.
I take a drug to keep myself alive. I've been taking it for 3 months.
There is no drug.
There was a woman who came to me in the hospital. She injected something into my IV. Since then, every time I've gotten sick, it's been there. I've tried having it analyzed, but I think it's been engineered to break down into a retrograde state.
Easy, Beecher. That's enough of that.
No way. Leave me alone.
Now you gotta get that to a clinic.
No, doctor. I'm not going back. Get away from me, Danny. So, doctor, I'm not going back.
Come on now, before you hurt yourself.
That's all right, Beecher.
You don't have to go no way you don't want to go, all right?
Leave me alone.
Hey, I'm just trying to help the man. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Joe, I'm not going back. I can't. Back off!
Man, you're crazier than he is.
I can't go back, Joe. I can't go back. No one's taking you nowhere. Oh, man. Dr. Mack!
Teacher?
Please, I can't make it. Please. I can't make it. Stop.
Teacher, what happened? My God, what happened to you? Okay, don't worry. I'll take care of you.
Paramedic said 10 minutes later and Wade would have bled to death. He's lucky you found him when you did.
Actually, he found me.
That's what the paramedic said. Truth is, I don't know whether to feel insulted or grateful.
I mean, I've been treating him for 5 years, and you're the one whose doorstep he shows up on. I'm Wade's psychiatrist, Barry Michaels.
Sydney MacMillan.
Dr. Mack. That's what he calls you, right?
Yeah. I treated him for a bronchial infection, and we became friends.
I see you've been reading my psych evaluations.
I'm just trying to figure out why he would do this to himself.
Well, he ran away for 3 months, and he hasn't been taking his meds. I wouldn't call it a Robin Cook medical mystery. Unless you know something you're not telling me.
I just think I know Beecher.
Don't let him. No, please don't let him take me over. Dr. Mack! No, Mack!
Yes, I was trying to take you, Beecher.
15 minutes, camera on push.
Beecher!
Please,
I'm trying to help you.
Wait, it's me, Dr. Michaels.
No, don't let him take me. I didn't run away. You know I would never go
Stabilize
without
your heart.
telling you. Don't. I wouldn't have. They made me do this to myself.
Stabilize his
Who?
arm. Stabilize his arm.
Don't.
Teacher, who? You're giving him a sedative?
Damn it.
What about if we use an antihistamine instead of a sedative?
No, I
If
gotta-
he's unconscious, how can we do any sort of diagnostic exam?
Gotta stay clear.
Put him on a held drip. On restraints, top to bottom.
Listen. Gotta stay clear. Dr. Mac, don't let him take me.
No one's gonna take you.
Because I was not my fault. Don't let him.
Beecher, your tattoo.
Please stop. See what
What happened to your tattoo?
From his old Marine division. It was a bulldog with a lightning bolt through its mouth. I've seen it 100 times when we did the Sunday crosswords together, and now there's no evidence it was ever there. There's no scarring, there's no discoloration.
What did Dr. Michael say?
He said the chart's wrong, and that he remembers Beecher's tattoo being on his left arm.
According to this, he scratched most of the skin off that arm. So, there's no proof where the tattoo was.
I'm not trying to prove it to you.
I know you and Beecher were close. You're trying to make sense of what he did.
No. What he did doesn't make sense. Beecher was depressed. He wasn't self-destructive. He's never done anything to hurt himself.
Until tonight.
Yes. And it feels like I'm the only one who cares enough to find out why.
Beecher said he was taken, abducted, right? Did he say where?
No, I was gonna ask him as soon as he wakes up.
Why don't I go through his effects? See if maybe I can find some information about where he's been.
Okay. If you want to.
Seen this man? His name is Beecher. I'm not a cop. I just want to know if you've seen him. Have you seen him? His name is Wade Beecher? Nah, man, I haven't seen him.
Dr. Michael's orders are explicit.
I know, I read them. This won't conflict with his medication.
No, don't put me out. Don't put me out.
Beecher, it's for the itching. It's an antihistamine. Hey. You came to me because you knew I'd never hurt you. You were right to think that. Okay? What happened to you? Before you said you were taken.
They took me from the ward. I was sleeping when they took me.
Who?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Do you remember where this was?
Right here. At the VA.
What happened to your tattoo? Beecher.
put that net on you.
What kind of net?
It's so hard to describe, Doctor. But I'm not the only one that they put it on. There are others. They're still inside the net.
Can you tell me where this is in the VA?
I can show you.
Can I talk to you?
Excuse me. Do you know this man? His name is Wade Beecher.
How come you're looking for Beecher? I'm trying to help him. Nobody helps nobody unless they get something. And Beecher's got nothing to give.
His doctor is concerned.
Doctor's what messed him in the first place. Beecher was right all along. He ain't lying.
Lying about what?
You don't know.
No.
He's all right. You want to help someone? He's the one that needs your help.
Going in there without consulting me was over the line.
I just feel if you would listen to him.
I listened to him for 5 years, until he ran off and did this to himself.
Well, he told me he didn't run away. He said that he was taken and that other people were taken too.
And you believe him?
Well, I believe that something happened to him, and we're not going to find out what it is if you keep him unconscious.
I'm his primary physician. It's my legal obligation to stop him from hurting himself.
And what about your obligation to treat him? The fact that antihistamines relieved his itching suggests that his condition is physical. Maybe he ingested or he was exposed to some sort of toxin or pathogen. Maybe it was administered intentionally.
Intentionally. I don't know what your interest in my patient is all about, but from now on, I expect you to stay away from him. Throat. Someone took off his restraints. Again.
I assume this means you're not on call tonight.
I was suspended.
What? What happened?
Beecher's dead. He
cut his carotid artery trying to stop the itching. Apparently someone took him out of his restraints and they think it was me. There's a formal inquiry on Friday. I had taken Beecher out of his restraints, but Michaels put them back on.
You took off his restraints?
After I stopped his itching with antihistamines, he wanted to show me. He wanted to take me to the place where he said that he'd been taken. He told me that other people were still being held there, trapped in some kind of net. I know how this sounds, but unless I'm crazy, Beecher didn't fabricate his symptoms.
You're right, he didn't. At least not entirely. I think this caused Beecher's itching.
Scabies?
Now, there was an infestation where he lived.
Scabies wouldn't drive a man to self-mutilation.
The man I got this sample from is in county ER. He scraped off most of his own face. He was also warning anyone who'd listen about government transmitters and microwaves.
Beecher wasn't psychotic.
You just said that he took his own life.
That's what it looked like. I was with him an hour before he died. He wanted to show me something. What if he was killed to stop him from talking?
Were there any witnesses or reports of unusual activity?
You were a patient at the VA, and some mystery woman was able to infuse your IV. I don't remember anyone reporting her. I've gone out on a limb for you more times than I can count, no questions asked. Why won't you do the same for me?
Request, Paul. The body's scheduled for cremation this afternoon.
Which is why I need you to act now to have it transferred here.
The coroner reported it as a suicide. Do you have reason to doubt his findings? Because it says here the subject had a history of mental illness which manifested itself in destructive behavior.
He was a patient of Sydney's. She believes he was suffering from a physical ailment unrelated to his mental illness. Possibly the result of something that was done to him.
Does Dr. MacMillan have any evidence to support this? Because it sounds to me like you're putting a lot of faith in her belief.
Lynn, will you do this for me, please?
Thanks for coming.
I always like to steal patient files on my day off. It helps me relax.
Can I get you anything?
No, thanks.
Come on in.
Isn't this something that Paul should be looking into?
He looked. I just don't think he feels he's gonna find anything.
Well, I did. Dr. Michaels emailed 16 patient files to his home a year ago. All of them designated no next of kin.
Just like Beecher.
7 of the 16 went AWOL after Michaels emailed their files. Disappeared from the psych ward without being discharged. Just like Beecher.
Beecher said there were others.
Beecher tested positive for scabies. I'm not finding any other physical evidence to explain the itching. No indication of renal or liver failure. So, thank you for your indulgence with all of this, Lynn. Looks like Sydney was wrong.
Not necessarily. Pathology ran the substance you found underneath his fingernails.
It was his skin.
Well, there was something inside the skin. It looked like a bundle of fibers until they spread it out. Fibers were woven together in some kind of meshwork.
A net.
Hi, sorry I'm not here. Leave a message and I'll call you back.
Sydney, it's Paul. I need to talk to you right away. I'm coming over. If you get this while I'm in my car, call my cell phone.
She's never gonna get the guy.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
I'm looking for Dr. Michaels.
Yes, who are you?
I'm a colleague. I'd like to speak with him, please.
Who is it, Karen?
A woman.
It's Sydney MacMillan.
Sorry, Karen. I'll talk to her.
I thought you weren't supposed to have any contact with patients or staff.
Why don't you report me?
Maybe I will.
While you're at it, why don't you tell administration what you did to Beecher and 7 of your other patients? I want you to tell me what you did to Beecher to make him want to tear off his flesh. Hey, excuse me? Excuse me?
From the blast, but you're okay. Just sit still.
Wait! 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 Who are you? How did you know that was gonna happen? Who the hell are you?
You're bleeding. It's your ear.
Why are you following me?
I can't stay here.
Sydney?
Sydney, it's Janice. Listen, something weird happened when I pulled up Beecher's file. I'm here. Hang on a sec. You're there.
Sydney, it's Paul. I need to talk to you right away. I'm coming over. If you get this while I'm in my car, call my cell phone. Sydney?
No, it's Lynn. Is everything okay?
I don't know. She's not here.
You find anything?
The netting appears to be some kind of skin graft scaffolding. It's covering at least 90% of his body surface.
A total skin graft is physically impossible. Unless his entire dermis was removed and put back on.
Paul, this skin has more nerve endings than normal skin. A lot more. I mean, we're counting densities 10 times greater than normal so far.
What do you mean so far?
The nerves still appear to be growing.
Lynn Beecher's been dead for 48 hours.
But his skin It's still alive.
Hold on. Yeah.
Is this Sydney MacMillan's residence?
She's not here. What's going on?
There was an incident involving a vehicle registered in her name. We'd like to speak with her about it.
What kind of incident?
Someone just tried to kill me. Someone just tried to kill me. I have to call the police. Thank you.
Emergency operator. Please give me your name and the number you're calling from.
I don't know the number that I'm calling from. But my car just...
Your car? Ma'am, tell me your name and your location. Hello?
I'm sorry.
Bringing Turner into this now is a mistake.
How do you know, Paul?
He's the reason I was following you. If you contact him now, the people who killed Beecher will find out.
You're involved with them?
Not anymore.
But you were.
I know you can't understand now, but you will, I promise.
And why should I believe anything that you say?
Before Beecher escaped, he was held against his will in a private research facility on VA grounds.
What kind of research?
Give me a hand.
What?
Your hand.
CGO2. What does that mean?
It's the way in. I'll tell you where.
Where is she, Janice?
On restricted leave.
You spoke with her today. She asked you to do something. What was it?
You should probably ask her.
I understand your loyalty. I respect it, but you're not protecting her. Her car was found this afternoon firebombed. She wasn't in it. No one was. But I need to find Sydney before something happens to her.
Who are you?
Sydney!
Get out of here!
Sydney!
What do you think you're doing?
Sydney MacMillan, where is she?
What is this about?
What's this about?
These are patient files, my patients.
Men you knew wouldn't be missed when you used them as subjects in some kind of skin regeneration experiment. I know about the skin grafts. Wade Beecher's body is in government custody. I did the autopsy myself.
Skin grafts?
You were involved. I can prove it. Now tell me where Sydney is. She was here this afternoon. Somebody tried to kill her. You tell me where she is, or you do it now! Because if she was hurt in any way...
It wasn't me!
Your doorstep, Doctor. It's all traceable right back to your doorstep.
After the accident, I saw on her face her shame at how she looked. You should have seen her before. She was beautiful. When she lost that, I never stopped loving her. But that's when she withdrew anyway. She gave up her practice, lost herself in research she never even talked about. Now I find out she's been using my patients, men who trusted me.
Hey, where can we find her?
it easy.
Yeah, there's the men that they're still holding.
No trace.
But I saw one, Paul.
I believe you.
Karen Michaels. Does he know?
Not yet. I'll go talk to him. The paramedics take care of it.
Take some more oxygen if you need it, okay? I'll be back in a minute. Sydney.
That was you in there, wasn't it?
You're the only one who can make Turner understand
Understand what?
that the serum is a lie. Why do you think you can't analyze it? The people that are supplying Turner are using him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
His disease was cured long ago. He's not sick anymore, Sydney.
The serum is what's keeping him alive. Without it, his symptoms come back. I've seen it.
What you've seen is withdrawal. The drug that's in the vial is recreating the symptoms of a disease he doesn't have any longer.
How do you know this?
Because I was fed the same lie. But I preferred dying to dependency, so I stopped taking the drug. And I survived.
Why would anybody do that? Why would they make you believe that you're sick when you're not?
We're all part of an experiment. It's a means to an end. Me, Beecher, Turner, it's all connected. Look at the vials under a low-frequency light. But don't tell Turner he's not ready. He doesn't realize that you are the only one who can help him.
I can't sleep either.
Thinking about Beecher?
I was remembering when you were sick. Now I used to wish I could lie like this next to you.
I should have believed you earlier. I'm sorry.
You don't have to explain yourself.
I want to.
I think I understand.
At first, I didn't believe you. And then when I did, I just didn't want you to get involved with something that could get you hurt.
I'm still too wired to sleep. But you sleep.
Next on Sci-Fi, Strange World.
They are ancient legends.
legends we call vampires, but there is a legend even more ancient that vampires fear. Based on the Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice, Queen of the Damned, premieres this Saturday at 9 on Sci-Fi.